My whole approach to music is that there's nothing new under the sun and it's all mine. And I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel when I'm writing a song. I normally just want to have a song where I can pose like this in the mirror or do this, you know what I mean? And so I wear my heart on my sleeve, you know exactly who I love. You know who my favorite bands are. There's no fucking mistake in it. And I'm not going to try to bullshit you and tell you that I made this shit up, But I just keep stealing the same Rolling Stones song over and over again. It seems to work so far, to answer your question.
Don't speak, even whisper. It happened, but don't be scared.
Rock and roll's become so complicated, There's so many rock and rollers are fucking politicians now, and you know what I mean? They're crusaders for the environment or whatever. And Little Richard didn't do that shit. Jerry Lee Lewis sure as hell wasn't doing that shit. He wasn't trying to help the environment at all, I promise you know what I mean? I have the fucking greatest job in the world. I have the luck. I'm in fucking Paris right now in a fucking amazing bar with a zinc actual bar, having a fucking beer with you guys and doing an interview. You know what I mean? Captain Beefheart's Safe as Milk. It's released in 1966. You gotta consider the time. Like, the Beatles hadn't even released Sgt. Pepper's yet. It's recorded in LA and it's called Safe as Milk. And it's a bunch of dudes in suits with black leather killer gloves. That's fucking tough, because it's off. And then they have Dropout Boogie. That's the kind of rock and roll that's sexy, but it's scary too, because it's tough as fucking shit.
Could you do that? Could you imagine you writing those kind of weird songs?
I can fantasize about it, but to actually take a minute to presume that I could do it, I'm uncomfortable. I think that's dangerous territory to tread on, because the second you presume to do something like that, you're in danger of almost becoming comfortable with feeling smarter than everyone else. You know what I mean? This is the first album where it really is an equal partnership, because now I write everything, I guess you could say, but on this album, I wrote the songs, but they would change. Joshua, if you listen to Cheap Thrills, you clearly hear the part that Joshua wrote. You know what I mean? And Wanna Be in LA, Joshua was in another country, so I produced that. But we have an ethic, which is let the music dictate it. Joshua is a scientist and a geek like me. He just built a world-class studio. Having Joshua produce the album is like having fucking George Martin produce a record, in my opinion. That is the funniest motherfucker in the world, and together we're like an old gay couple. Like, that's really what we're like. It's like, I'm the swish, and he's the straight dude, you know what I mean? And that's exactly what we're like. It's like, you never have 2 cigarettes at home, I just want you to calm down. I think that shit's funny, so like, and I think Joshua got such a bad rap when Nick Oliveri was righteously removed from the band. And one of the greatest fucking rock albums ever made, Lullabies to Paralyze, was hidden. And that hurt my best friend's feelings, He's a fucking sweetheart. He isn't a fucking bully and all that shit, He's a fucking wonderful guy. He's a family man. He's a fucking comedian, for God's sakes. So, like, my fucking effort for the gang is to make sure that everyone knows he's a little old cuddle bear. So a comedy album is what it's gonna take. I know it. Yeah, you're one of those. Yeah, I got it. As soon as the money comes out, then I'll start winning. Okay. Touring life can get to you, and it can fuck with your head. And I'm a dad. I'm a full-time. Believe it or not, I go to PTA meetings at my son's school. Like, they don't like it all the time, but I do it, and I want to keep doing this forever, But I also am a son. I'm not just a rock and roller. I got responsibilities. And I want to be able to like my friends when I'm done with the tour, you know? Being in a little tour bus with gadgets seems cool, but it's like being in a submarine with a bunch of gay sailors and you didn't want to be in the Navy in the first place, you know what I mean? When I hear something I've never heard before and it inspires me, I fucking get it. I mean, that's what technology that's when technology is good. That's when Pro Tools isn't evil, because it allows you to realize an idea on your laptop in a fucking airplane. It also looks cool if there's chicks watching, you know, you got your fucking gadgets out. I mean, right now, this is pretty fucking rad too, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna work for us. All three of us, we're getting laid, you know what I'm saying? You better. I have a girl right now, Coco Bubbles. She's all over the record. You'll see her name. She'd fucking kill me if I fuck, but I'm horny. I want girls to want me, but I can also take all that shit and give it to one badass, smoking hot titted girl with the finest ass in rock and roll. Let me tell you that right now, my friends. It is hard sometimes, ain't gonna lie. Monogamy is definitely a discipline. It's a discipline, let's just say. But when I don't have a girl, you better hide your girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm coming, you know. But yeah, I guess my final answer is that I love my girl. This was rad. Fucking cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
You.
Okay.
To you, boys, and to new friends.
Yeah. To new friends.